Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. So before we start, I made a Patreon, and so there'll be a link in the description if anyone is interested in donating via Patreon. Thank you to my first two patrons, John Ice and Zephyrel. And they're the first two ever patrons, so thanks a lot to those guys. And if the rest of you are interested, or any of you, then check the description. And also, I'm wondering what people would like for rewards. So I don't have many good ideas. There's one tier that gives you replay reviews, which will be posted on the channel. Other than that, I'm not really sure what to offer, other than the few hundred free videos, but you know, we could do more. So anyway, onto the game. We have Blast and Turin. This is Turin down here in the red, both playing Aeon. The map is Comet Catcher 10x10. You can see it's not quite 10x10, narrowed slightly on both sides, so it's more like 10 by, what do you think, 8 maybe? 7? And this is you can see all the mexes are spread out. We only have these mexes here are grouped, the ones in the middle and these ones here, and the ones in the spawn are even kind of distance from each other, but the rest of the mexes, single mexes spread out everywhere. A very flat map, not much terrain, just a few craters here and there. So this map is difficult to play and quite unusual. You can see at the start, because you only have two mexes here, and then the next mexes are quite far. This one you have to walk around the other side and enter through here. So this one's actually quite far away. That means you really lack mass at the start, so even building the second factory is a difficulty. You can see Blast expanding quickly, and that's because he desperately needs those mass extractors. You can see no assistance with the ACU, and he doesn't have spare mass, and he's going second there. Both players making labs, a lot of labs. This engineer at the front goes down, the first casualty of war. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 labs from Blast, 7 labs from Blast. No Aurora being constructed. The problem with Aurora early on in this game is their speed, or lack thereof. They have to be able to get across the map to defend engineers versus labs, and that's slow. It's a slow process for an Aurora. Blast can even build a third factory. On this map, that's sort of impressive, given the lack of mass. Usually I'm out of my base already. Turin didn't even finish his second factory before walking away. Look, he's already nearly in the middle of the map, so he'll probably head towards the middle, take these two nice mexes here with his ACU. Yes. Wow, it's full lab spam. 14 labs now from Turin. 14. Blast has begun the switch to Aurora. He has half the labs, but he does have an air factory and he's not using it. Well, he is using it for scouting, but look at this, there's no air factory and he's still building inties, so that's a big problem. He could do a lot with bombers here. You can see 3 engineers outside the base. Labs could be killed by bombers. That's maybe not the best use for them, but I mean, these 3 engineers. Oh, well, this one gets got anyway. Nice. No vision. Actually, with the labs going in front, then that gives vision for the Aurora to use. That's nice. But a scout would be good, or a radar. Early radar as an Aeon player is pretty important. is you will have a tendency to lose your scouts. This is brutal raiding. This engine lab in particular is doing amazing work. Both these engineers are killed on this side, and he'll lose a mech as well, which is important. Nice air scout giving vision for the Aurora. But still the labs run away, dodge some shots, and escape. Blast trying to get a radar up here so he can see what's coming and hopefully hide. Also using his air to find these intruders into his territory. And Turin is still spamming labs. He's also making anti-air as well. Bomber finally from Blast. Better late than never. Now let's look at the map control. Turin has 1 extra mechs right now. 400 greater mass total, and actually now he's getting more of the map, getting this middle. This is really nice. Also now it's a forward factory for his ACU, taking another mechs here, and the raiding is not too bad. That's another dead mechs. These labs over here were killed. There's a dead mechs. These are missing. So quite even with Turin maybe getting slight upper hand. The problem is going to be what are all these labs going to do? There's now 8 Aurora. An Aurora 2-shot labs. So they're Aurora are very good against labs. Unless you're dodging shots constantly, you're not going to kill them. You're not, or unless the labs are dodging Aurora shots, they're not going to kill the Aurora. And look at this, he immediately starts kiting, and there goes 1 lab, there goes 2 labs. The 3rd lab, if it dares, will also go down. Bomber trying to do some damage, gets 1. It's probably not the best use of the bomber though. The Aurora are more than capable of dealing with labs like this. Goodbye. And yeah, so the Aurora far superior. I think if you make this many labs, you should be... I mean, there's options. I would definitely... You need to go for a ghetto, I would say, to make use of these labs after this point. Like, if these labs are in a transport, then they can do way more than what they're able to do currently. At the start of the game, they're very nice for raiding everywhere, but at this point, you're 7-8 minutes in. A ghetto would be really good. Imagine rushing Tech 2 Air making T2 ghettos. You could probably immediately snipe the ACU if you have a few inties. So you can see Blast does not have that many. He has 7. That's decent. Well, Blast now is still making a lot of labs as well. Again, it's kind of weird, but look, that's proof that it does something. Bit of a raid here. This can be raided. It's really the speed, I guess, is what they are looking for. Oh, every unit wasted like this is a regret. It's very very strange. The Aurora Lab unit composition that we're seeing here. Now, yeah, Aurora's from Turin. Turin still seems to have a lead. We don't have any economy. Oh, never mind. We have 1 mech started. 15% now. And we have about half and half Aurora Labs. Blast with a lot less land. So it looks pretty bad for Blast now. He has had air control for the entire game, but crucially has made, well, very little of it, I think. I mean, targeting labs. He has 10 kills. I wonder how long it took him to get those 10 kills though with this bomber. I feel like it's been bombing things that were about to die anyway for a while. 10 kills is still nice, but you can see it's only 300 mass killed. One bomb into some Aurora here could be more valuable than a lot of the previous kills it's gotten. And one very powerful unit on this map, which is not used too often, for whatever reason, is the transport. Transport is very powerful. Look at these mexes. See how long it's going to take him to get these mexes back? And even this, which is about to die again. Transport solves these problems. Instant efficiency gain if you make a transport and start using it. And Blast is going to have to do something because it's 10 minutes in, and this is a very nice picture for Turin to look at. He doesn't like this, of course, losing a factory at the front, but it's the risk you take when you build a factory at the front. Now we have 12 labs coming in, desperate to... Yeah. This is another reason why labs are not built, is because they start to feed insane veterancy if you use them against the ACU. They have the DPS, obviously, but they have short range, but they get one shot. Blast is not shooting units, though. He needs to be shooting units, and he could rack up some serious vet. Every lab gets one shot by an ACU, obviously. And they have far less range. So it's a very bad idea to use labs against the ACU, but Blast has just been shooting the ACU this whole time instead of shooting the units, and there's not really any excuse for that. So he's dropped quite low. He does have still a decent army, maybe too many fervors here. 10 fervors, 9. Still with air control, and still he's taking damage and not doing much on Turin's side. So Turin now, his lead is growing, his resources improving, more energy, more mass. More, well, not more veterancy, but definitely more HP. And T2 air. So we have Swift Winds. Gonna attempt to win back air. And then gunships could be quite powerful. On any map with spread out mexes, air grows in dominance, because of course you can't have one static defense defending one mex and not defending all the others. That's not very efficient. So if you have if we had bases on this map rather than single mexes, then so you can defend an entire base with static anti-air. On a map like this, that's not feasible. You would have to basically have turrets spread quite widely, and if you spread them too widely, then they can get picked off by small numbers of gunships, and so the defenses will be wasted. So that's the reason air is quite powerful, but now, yeah, it hasn't been so powerful for Blast. Hasn't made the best of it, but this fight that Turin took here is now looking worse and worse as he retreats, and he realized that there's over 3,000 mass here left on the field, which Blast is actually going to be in control of, because, well, I think we have to put it down to one, Turin making the transition to T2 air, leaving him with less units, and therefore he can't keep his ACU forward. And then the second point is there's also more economy built for Turin, so maybe this T2 mex here slows down his units as well. Now we need to see some protection. Always use protection. And that's a dead gunship, but not two dead gunships, so look on the bright side. There's some... No. Please. Don't do this. Saved. That could have been Very nasty. Now, actually, in the meantime, it was very nasty. I just see Blast's entire air force has dropped out of the sky. The swift winds. Those fat interceptors doing some damage. One of the reasons Swifties are good, you can see here they're damaged. Stick them on air staging, and then they get full HP again. They're a bit, like, close to half HP now. And air staging is basically almost free. Well, the repair function is, and the building is, what, less than 200 mass, so you only have to repair a few swift winds to basically pay itself back. And if you start repairing gunships as well, then you're going to be in a really nice spot. So, air factory coming for Blast, and Blast has actually now banked some mass, which is nice. Always nice to have some mass. Now, people will complain that, oh, he has to spend it. Well, he does, but you don't always have to be extremely worried about banking mass. The point is, if you can put it into something useful in the short term. So soon he will be able to put that mass into a T2P gen. Wait, actually, I thought he was going T2 air, but he's not. Well, I guess his mass is going to have to go into power. Because that's what he's lacking. He does have nice map control now. This T2 air switch from Turin was not effective. And the mass in his storage primarily is coming from this reclaim field, which still exists. And like, his engineers refuse to work because the storage is too full. But they still have nice mass to snack on. There is some mass on Torrent's side, but certainly the majority of it has been on Blast's side. Look at that, 4.5k. That is what's keeping the mass totals equal. And now Blast has also taken map control with that. Oh, don't lose those gunships. And Blast is going to lose his air, however. That is for sure. Are these out of fuel, or no? They're just turning slowly. So Blast loses there again, and now here come the gunships raiding the left side. He's keeping them together. 6 gunships kept together. You can see these great gunships for repairing as well. Some of them half HP. And when they're getting blinked away at by T1 anti-air, then it's very nice to repair them after you use them. Needs to keep his air close by to protect these gunships. But they can kill everything on the left side and maybe do more damage on top of that. Turin is here. Oh, these gunships are going to be, well, let's call it wasted. In my opinion. Killed by 4 inties. This nasty tank could do some raiding. So Turin now has 3 T2MXs. He's making 1 more. Blast has 3 as well. Yeah, there's another mech going down. Anti-air is going to be constructed in the base. And radar as well to help out. The gunships, no. Oh, they're all going to die, aren't they? I'm pretty sure a lot of them are going to die. Or maybe not. Oh, the bad turn. The back and forth. But yes, the gunships are going to die. There's 1 left, and there's none left. All 6 of the gunships die right next to Blast base. It's so much mass here. And mass on the left side to be reclaimed. Many mechs is killed, but another reason it's not that bad to have some mass in storage. If he is at 0 mass, perfectly balanced, then his production would stop. God, there's so many labs on the field still. Definitely should not be making those. More gunships from Turin. And Blast is really, well, he needs to get a T2P gen before he can really push for air control. But he's still moving forward with his units. No! Oh my god, Turin now. Less than 1500 HP. And a huge reclaim field given to Turin. Income in favor of Blast, unsurprisingly, with this map control, even with the left side being raided so brutally. And okay, yeah, now it's really a problem. Well, once he finishes the T2 P-Gen, it will be very easy to spend mass for him. So you'll have the power to really dump that mass into something quick. This is a nice turret here, nicely placed, and the only danger with turrets like these, which is actually quite far forward, is it can just die to land for free. So it is always risky investing in some towers like that. It's quite often you'll see them get killed for free. More gunships. Turin heading all the way home. Well, he's heading back over somewhere over here. Another T2P gen. No. His first? Yes, his first T2P gen, only now. It's quite late. Can definitely afford to get rid of some of this excess power now that this is complete. Now, what will be the next mechs? Oh, this one, which is actually damaged, is the next one too. Oh, that army mostly disappeared. It's a risky mechs to tech. I would be on a map like this where you have very spread mexes. I would be storaging quite quickly. These mexes are very safe. You can see, could storage that and this one, and focus your economy in a smaller location. And the efficiency drop is not that bad compared to upgrading a T1 to T2 mechs. It's not a huge difference. There is definitely a difference there. Okay, we're finally running out of labs. We're down to 9 labs. I feel like they're still being built from somewhere though. T2 land is some distance in the future. It's always kind of strange queuing up upgrades like that. I would... Well, it's not that advisable, I would say. He's probably gonna... Well... I think you really need to know exactly when you want it. When is your economy ready to start going for it, and then click up. Don't... Having 10 engineers before you click up means you're not sure exactly when it's going to happen, and that's not really what you want for something as important as a T2 land upgrade. Oh my goodness, T3 land upgrade from Turin. Has no mass though, and that's a huge problem. This is going to be extremely slow. He needs to... Well, there's a lot of things that need to happen. So there's the first one that came to mind was recycling Paul's factories. He needs that mass badly. And he's also putting mass into a gun upgrade at the same time. I think we need more recycling to happen. Yeah, there it goes. Maybe... Well, he can't really afford to recycle P-gens right now. He does not have that option with that limited power overflow. I feel like Turin has not gotten mileage out of his gunships, really. I think he's made quite a few, and largely, well, they've done some good work, but not as good as it could have been, I would say. Dead mexes over here need to be replaced quickly. The T1 land force is dwindling. Somehow this was all T1 anti-air, pretty much. So that got wiped quite easily. That's a nice patch of mass for Turin. He's almost finished And the reclaim, the factory's just got him there, it seems. So now it's time to begin the production of the harbs. But in this scenario, map control is not in his favor. There's two T2P gens for blast. There's nice air production. We have a T2 support factory. This should be making swift winds, not inties. Most definitely. And we have, look at this, dead gunships. Juicy mass to be grabbed. So much anti-air. So much T1 anti-air. He has as many T1 anti-air as he has Aurora. That demonstrates a little bit the power of air. So here's a flak though. And just a range gun and a couple of obsidians. Obsidians are not going to be too good. I mean, they're going to one-shot the thistles, they're going to one-shot any T1 land, but they're going to overkill the Aurora so hard that it's actually not going to be worth it. Versus the Aurora, and there's no... Yeah, they're just not going to be that good, and I mean, God forbid they shoot at the slab. TML, and oh my god! He just bombed the T2 mechs and there were gunships parked right next to it. He nearly killed the gunships. This gunship 32 HP. And then there's TML here. And he will actually need a TML to kill that because his bombers ran out. And here comes... Oh, is that going for the ACU? Turin's moving though. No, it's going for a mechs in the base. Oh, it clears the cliff. Oh, he's going for the HQ. Well, he needs to hit twice more. Is that gonna work? One more missile, or even these gunships if they could get close, but that would be risky. No, 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 no. Oh no, that's brutal. And so is this. Another harp goes down to the gunships. The HQ. Oh. And just like that, in the last 1 minute, this game has gone from, oh my god, now the air getting absolutely annihilated by this horde of T1 mobile anti-air. Another T2 mechs goes down. Another T2 mechs goes down here, most likely. Oh my god, it just curved around the cliff here. Like, curved around it. And the TML gets killed. Oh, not before it loses another one. In that last 1 minute, the game went from pretty bad to absolutely fucked. Now Blast is dropping his T3 land. In the front there's just a completely fake army that just a few Aurora and Fervors and lots of anti-air. If he doesn't dodge the Fervors then it could get nasty, but he's gonna dodge them mostly. They don't have any AoE to prevent dodging really. There's only one flak with the ACU though. Oh my god, the bombers! Oh, the bombers killed the flak. Stunned it as well, and Turin's losing health rapidly. There's so many gunships. He is not going to survive this. And there he goes. Lag is beyond cancer. Yeah, Turin's been complaining about lag a lot recently. These are some flaks would have been nice over here. Damn, this went so horribly from that that TML. He did not realize his HQ was getting TML'd. What the f... He made a T3 Max. Well, that's one way to do it. I don't really think T3 Max was that bad, actually. I think it would probably be fine if he didn't... Well, I guess he probably could only make that because he was reclaiming his all of his dead stuff. That might have helped. Like, reclaiming his HQ might have funded this T3 Max. But, yeah, that went really bad at the end. So, anyway, that's it. Nice play from both players. Nice, some Aeon action, Aeon on Aeon. On an interesting map. So, thanks everyone for watching. And as I said at the start, check out my Patreon if you're interested. And, yeah, I'll see you soon for another cast.